Hello everybody, it's JJSFREETIME here. Today we are going to be doing a try series on these pods that I got from Wish. Now, I got these from Wish quite a long time ago actually. I think it was last year when I got them. And I've just been putting them off recently because, you know, other stuff. There's a load of them here. There's one that's blue. I have no idea what they're supposed to smell like, but we'll find out. That one smells a bit different. But apparently these are supposed to be better than the leading brand because apparently they're concentrated or some shit. So there you go. There's a purple one which is not lavender, I don't think. And there's a green one. There's a yellow one, and there's a blue one, and there's a red one as well. So what I'm going to do today is some towels, and I'm going to put the red pod in, and we'll see how it goes. So as you can see, I've got them ready for the laundry load, and I've put in the red pod, and I'm going to put in these towels, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to put any softener in, just for an interest in fairness to see what they smell like. So this is the setting I've selected, synthetics. Put it at 60 because I've been in there for a while, and 1400. And we'll see how it goes with one little Wish pod, known as the red one. So here we are, the washing machine's going. And I've decided to use the onboard microphone on the camera just to see if there's any difference in the audio. Probably not. But again, I will keep you updated in the next clip of if they work. So here's a bit of an update. They don't seem to be foaming up that much. So I don't think they're going to work properly, these pods. These things from Wish look like they're garbage. But I'm just judging it before the horse gets to the race, really. Let's just hope. You know, yeah, there is some suds now, but who knows? It might not work properly, so we'll see. But I always have a weird feeling that, or a skepticism here, of it not working. So, oh well, what can you expect? They were free, so it's done. Let's see what we get. I can't really smell anything. That's probably expected for this thing. Let's see what we got. Let's smell the smallest things that I'll probably have the most concentrated in. I don't know if it's even cleaned them properly. It's annoying that. Well, they smell somewhat clean, but that's because it's a washing machine. It's supposed to clean them, but I don't know. There's no fragrance. Absolutely none at all. You would love if you had these stupid pods, like you would want to buy these stupid pods, or even just have them free. Well, they're not free because obviously you post some packaging, but obviously you would put some of that in with it. But this is disappointing. These pods leave nothing behind apart from disappointment, probably. And it does. And to be honest, I don't think that cloth's very clean, to be honest, either. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to put this back on a wash cycle, and then I'm gonna have to put in and you know, real stuff. So again, this is even worse than small. Right, I've got some bottoms in these things in the washing machine. A few pairs of socks, and we've all been quarantined by animals because apparently we have no government control. So I'm going to put one of the blue ones in this time, close it up, and we'll see if they smell of anything or if they do anything. I'm not doing synthetics this time. I think I might do cottons, considering the fact that it's not a very good pod in the first place. 60 degrees, 1400, cottons, go. And I'll see you in 2 hours. Now, while that's going, I might as well quickly tell you that these pods are rubbish already, because concentrated or not, you need more than one pod in the wash, because believe it or not, one's not going to cut it. I mean, when I put in my Ariel 3-in-1 or the Prism or whatever pods I've got, I always put 2 in, and I've sometimes put 3 in if it's a bigger wash load. So it's going to be interesting how a small tiny little pod is going to work with all of that. Also, I forgot to mention that I'm going to be also putting in some of my comfort in this time, because actually I'll put the comfort in after I've checked it, and then I'll put in the comfort and put it on a separate rinse and spin. Right, so let's see if another pod worked or not. Right, let's see. Did it actually do what it's supposed to? You know, clean the clothes properly. It smells like absolute nothing. It smells a bit like church. You know those church seats and all that smell funny? It smells a bit like that, to be honest. Not very good. Where's the one that was full of shit on it? I don't know which one it is. Don't even know if I'm in frame, but fuck it, that one's fine. Let's have a look at this one. Well, it seems to have done the job of doing the minor problems with the stuff, so I will give it that. It has cleaned them properly this time. Unlike the small and the others did proper jobs of it. Let's see, is this the same one? Might be. Yeah, they look clean, so I think it has done the job of cleaning it, but again, no fragrance whatsoever, so they're going back in, and I'm going to put some of this in. See you later. Right, so it's a Sunday, but I thought I'll do some laundry. I've basically got my 2 cloth things in there. What you use for the 1, 2, 3 mop or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put that lavender pod in. I think it's lavender. And then for the final wash with these pods, I think I will be doing my coat with it, because I want to put 2 of them in, because they're not very good performance in my opinion. So let's see what setting I'm going to show you. So I'm going to shove it on the cottons again, because they only need a little refresh. They're not that dirty, to be honest. It's just that when you leave them for a week and you don't do any actual cleaning, which is kind of bad in my opinion for myself, I should get back on routine. I put it on 40 degrees and put it out to 1400, so you know it burns off like dust or whatever that's been left in the air. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Right, so a little bit of an update. The washing machine is foaming up on the bond pod, but who knows if that's excess or what. But the cotton cycle, when it spins, obviously is already doing a good job as it is trying to mash the powder and shit together properly. But it has foamed up, so I will give it that. But we just don't know. These pods are on and off the way they're working. I don't know, because the thing is, I've been on the Wish website a few times now since I started this, and they're not available. I can't find the one that I bought, so they're on and off for a reason, because they don't work properly, I'm guessing. So yeah, it has foamed up, but foam doesn't always equal clean. So it has foamed up, so that is interesting. But will it smell of lavender? Probably not. Will it smell of anything? Probably not. Right, they're done. They've been done for quite a while actually. But yeah, as predicted, they both smell of nothing. Yep, they smell of nothing. And why am I not surprised? Even the small had some smell to it, but we're glad when these fucking crappy things are gone. There's only 2 to go, and there's only 1 load with it anyway, so we'll roll that on and give you my final suggestion and verdict and whatever the fuck. Right, I've decided to put in my coat. I've put the last 2 pods in, and I'm going to put it on down jacket. But I know fully well that the area's still going to smell nice from the coat because aerial stays in the things forever, known as clothes. So I'm going to put it on and see if there is any smell difference, but I doubt it. But I'm not going to tell you because we know the results of this already. Anyway, I'm using the last ones on a down jacket and it's still going to smell like aerial, and that's probably the best thing about it. So let's see if the yellow one actually smells of what it's supposed to, which I don't know what it is anyway. Anyway, see you later. So, my coat now is in the dryer and I smelt it up close and it was, well, near no smell. In fact, there was no smell at all. In fact, I could still smell the aerial. And in fact, it did foam up the washer, but unfortunately, I guess that was mostly aerial residue from the pods. Oh well, it's nice and clean now, somewhat clean. So what do I think of these Wish pods? Waste of money. Absolute waste of money. And yes, you do use money because, believe it or not, you know, there is, I was just checking if there's a spider there, it's just something on my screen. Yeah, so as I said, you know, it's a waste of money. I mean, yes, there is money involved. Let me tell you why. Because if you're paying for postage and packaging instead of the product, there's a big problem between the both. You are technically paying for the product because you're, you know, obviously paying for the shipping of that product. So technically they're getting money for the shipment, and they probably get a cut from it. The pods themselves, I have to say, were quite bad. I think near the worst ones yet, and you only get so many. So, for example, the small is there, and these pods are way down here. So the smalls are better than these pods. The Prism ones I've got in there are about down here as well, but I'll be glad when they're gone. They were a rip-off, they were. They actually cost money and they're horrible. The smalls are up here, the Wish pods are way below. They don't smell of anything, they don't really do a very good job, and considering how small they are, yeah, they don't do the job, and it's how I expected it. It may have caused the foam up from two little pods, but that just shows that, concentrated or not, you need more than one pod in the washing machine for a full load. When I had a full load in there, known as the towels, I don't believe it cleaned them correctly, in my opinion. It should have, but the washing machine did most of the work. The little pods did do nothing. What else? It seems to clean the coat alright, but there was nothing on there to get rid of, no staining, nothing. But with the smalls, they worked pretty well with the coat actually, because there was a bit of a stain on it. They're not terrible, but they're a bit of a scam considering that you're paying for postage. They say it's free, but it's not free. A product that is free means free. There's no shit attachments to them. How did it get on with my trouser wash? I think it was my trouser wash. It did an okay job actually. It did clean those. So yeah, it does somewhat clean your clothes, and it is pretty good in my opinion. It does seem to work. Is there any smell? No. Do they clean as good as the smalls? Get in there. They're not 100% getting to the small power, but the smalls I think were better quality than this, and they're a little bit bigger as well. Now, people out there, right? Just because it says concentrated doesn't mean it's going to be as powerful as one pod. If it says concentrated, use 4 instead of 2 you would use with the originals, because chances are you'll get your clothes done much faster. Yes, with the 2 little pods it managed to foam it up, but as I said, the aerial could have caused most of that, because I used 2 pods that day, about 5 or 6 days ago when I washed the coat last. Because we're going through this fucking coronavirus crap, I'm like doing it every week now, not every month, because I'm a little bit skeptic. But not too skeptic. I don't like doing my laundry that often. I only do like the coat, because you go out in your coat, but it doesn't matter about everything else because they don't catch it as easy unless you have the virus, etc. Overall, the pods are okay, but for an 8 kilogram machine, it's not very good. And if you're gonna use it in a bigger kilogram machine, I'd recommend putting the whole lot in, because these ones are not as good. And people are right, you should put more than one in. There's me thinking putting one pod of the small in would work really wonders, and it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't, depending on the load size. The red one had no fragrance, the yellow one and the purple one had literally nothing. They just smelled like church. And the other one was the same one. I mixed up the green and the yellow one in, and I got nothing, no fragrance, nothing. And yes, I know it does rinses, but with the aerial pods, even with one pod on a half load, you can still smell it. So I don't know what that's about. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting these unless you're in a real desperate emergency and you've got 99p to spare on the shipping. But at the same time, you might as well go to the shop. You can probably get the same sort of pods for 150 or something daft from Tesco, and you're getting loads more. For God's sake, you're only getting like, what, 4 in this pack? And it was in bubble wrap as well, so it could have easily been teared and all this liquid could have come out of the pods. No, not recommended. Wouldn't recommend it. If I was rating it on JT's reviews, I would probably rate them a 3 out of 10, because they do work, but only just. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. If you tried these, I can't seem to find them online anymore, so they're all scattered around different names now on Wish, and they're near the same thing, but with a different little label across the screen of who the seller is, so whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.